Hello, everyone. I'm here to introduce you to the teaching resource that we have created at Flexagn. Teaching is the only profession that creates all the other profession. So, dear teachers, you're all doing a wonderful job. Teaching, is that an easy task? No, not at all. Teaching has a lot of challenges. Here are a few challenges that teachers face during teaching. Understanding the different learning challenges among students, disciplining students or classroom behavior management, preparing resources, or teaching materials such as lesson plans, assessments, worksheets, time management. Time management coming when the classes have to be conducted, or completion of syllabus, or creating of resources. Lack of technological upgradation. As we are technologically upgrading ourselves, there are still some of the teachers who are lacking technological upgradation. Inefficient professional training. And as we are teaching students of 21st generation, we need to upgrade our skills as well. Creating assessments, creating student oriented classes. Earlier it was teacher oriented classes. Right now we are uh, going with student oriented classes. Grading and evaluations, which are really difficult. Then detailed feedback of for each student is also missing. So these are some of the challenges that teachers come across while teaching. Now, have you heard of the 4 C's? This 4 C's are the 21st century learning skills. What are they? They are critical thinking, creative thinking, communication skills, and collaborative skills. Now, this 4 C's help students to learn and to succeed not just in school but also beyond school. So this is something which is very important that we have to develop in our students. Benjamin Franklin rightly said, "Tell me, I forget. Teach me, I remember. Involve me, I learn." So memories fade with time. Lessons are forgotten, but experience always shapes a human being, leaving a lasting mark. So teachers have the privilege of guiding early experiences and discovery. It is we who create wonders. Now we have already discussed about the challenges. Now, what is the solution? How to save time for teachers and make homework, assessments, engaging students easy? Here we introduce Flex Genie. This is a platform exclusively designed for teachers to help find right resources to teach in the class and evaluate students with creative assessment. The content solutions that we provide here are lesson plans, interactive quizzes, summary notes, creative assessment, worksheets, flashcards, and student notes, which have question and answers. So Flex Genie supports teachers with the lesson plan. Here's how our lesson plans look like. We call it teacher's manual. So the elements of our lesson plan. So our lesson plans start with introduction. So this introduction is just not oral questioning or just not directly rushing into the classes. We always introduce the lesson in a creative way, either by probing questions or connecting to the prerequisite knowledge, or saying a story, narrating a story, or an activity or a game that leads to the lesson. This is how our introductions are. So introductions would be very creative, and children would love to do different activities, learn, listen to stories, and come up with the um, explanation of the lesson. Moving on to methodology. So methodologies that we have in our lesson plans are maybe flipped classroom, project-based learning, gamification, cooperative learning, problem-based learning, design thinking, thinking based learning, and competency based learning. So these are things that we include in the methodology of our lesson plan. So flipped classroom is nothing but the reversal of the class, the traditional method of class where the teacher is teaching. Here the students take up the role and the explanation happens in the class. So this is one of the methodologies that you can find in our lesson plans. And we also have given importance to all these methodologies in our lesson plan, so that our motive is to create a learning in a creative, innovative way where the teacher remains as a facilitator and the student enjoys learning and is able to connect to real life. So these are some of the methodologies that we have included in our lesson plan. Moving on to the class assignment here, where the teacher can give students some work which can be completed in the class. So you have the references of everything in the lesson plan, which is very clear. And then there is closure where teacher gets 5 minutes to check upon the students whether they have understood the lessons. And then you have the elements, that is the home assignment, where you can ask the students to complete any assignment that has been assigned to them. So we have taken care of all these in our lesson plans, and all the home assignments have been taken care by our team. So moving on to the conducting the class. So when a question is asked in the class, what are the types of responses as a teacher you get? So you might find that students must answer. So there might be a chaos that is created when a lot of children together answer. Or you may even find that only few students speak or respond voluntarily. Or there is even a possibility that no one answers in the class. So these are some of the responses that you get in the classes. So now what do we do in order to see to it that each and every student of ours participates in the class or is a part of the discussion happening? So here are some of the techniques or tools that we have included in our lesson plan as well, to make the class very interactive. At the same time, every student here participates irrespective of the interest. So every student here will participate in the class. So what are the techniques? Let's see some of the techniques here. So basic classroom management tool here is using golden rules. So golden rules are helpful so that you can restrict upon or you can improve upon the student behavior. What are these golden rules? Golden rules can be set in every class, saying that, okay, you have to wait for your turn, listen to the teacher carefully. These are some of the rules that can be put up and told to the children and ask them to follow it on a regular basis. So these are some of the golden rules that has to be put up in every class so that the child knows what is the expected behavior, and the teacher also expects the child to behave in such a way. And with this, first problem of classroom management is solved. Here is the another technique that you can use called the lolly stick technique. This is nothing but the ice cream sticks that can be utilized. So how do we use this and what are the uses of lolly stick technique? This name you will find in our lesson plans as well. So this lolly sticks can be used or created in every class. One teacher can make this and keep it in the class, basically with the names of all the students in the class written on each lolly stick. So once the teacher writes the names of all the students on the lolly sticks, she can place it in the glass in a cup on the table. And whenever there is a question session, a place where the teacher asks question, the teacher can randomly pick any stick and call out the names of the students written on this. So this is very helpful, so that there is no mass answering in the class happening. And also we see to it that each and every child here gets an opportunity. It's not that repeatedly the same child gets the opportunity. So these techniques can be utilized for asking questions. This also can be used for creating groups. You can randomly pick three or four or five, whatever the number of students you require to form groups, and then say that okay, this is group A with all these students. So for creating groups you can use logistics, for asking questions, for making any kind of a leader or anything of that sort, so that there is like every child here gets an opportunity without looking at the name, or without seeing who the child is. You're randomly picking it. So this is the logistic techniques which you can find in our lesson plans. Every question and answer we are using this logistic techniques to see to it that, or to ensure that every child here in the class gets an opportunity. So this is logistic technique. Then you have something called talking tokens. Talking tokens are tokens, or you can use a plastic bottle, the juice bottle caps. You can ask your students to bring one or two each, and then you can use this as talking tokens. So this talking tokens can be used in such a way that, like, you if you have a session where you are having something, a talk on something, and you're allowing the students to talk. So at that time you can ask the child to give the token and speak, so that this also helps you to curb any child who is like speaking twice or thrice or any number of times. So here you also see to it that every child gets an opportunity to speak, and everybody is speaking in their turns. So this is one more technique that you can use. Then you have something called hand signals. Hand signals are also which can help you in rather than shouting out or like taking too much of stress during the class. See, as teachers, if all of a sudden, if all the students start answering back, you will find it very difficult to stop them. So these are some of the hand signals which you have to teach the students right from the beginning of your class or beginning of the year. So when you teach this from the beginning, so this is practiced every day, and the children, the moment you show them the hand or you show them the gesture, you show them the signals, they are able to follow it. So if there is something called like when you want to tell them that we will take turns, so maybe if you will show this, we will take turn, this is how the hand gesture is. And then it's my turn, I will show this, I will not speak. So this initial days you will have to say okay, my turn, your turn. But later on, once you show this, the students must be able to follow. It's like when you say it's my turn, when you say it's your turn, then if you have to say wait or stop, just raise your hand up. So these are some of the hand signals which you have to um, speak about to the children. You should tell them that this is expected in the class, this is not expected in the class. So this kind of rules, when you set to the class, your classroom management becomes very easy. Moving on, this is one more activity that you will find in our lesson plans called thumbs up and thumbs down. So basically there will be true or false in all the lessons, or most of the lessons and all the subjects. So to make it creative and allow all the students to participate, this is the way that you can do. You can ask all the students to take part, and ask them also that they are not supposed to speak. It is only the hand gestures or hand thumbs up or thumbs down they are supposed to do. So you will tell them, okay, you will ask a question. If it is, or if they agree, or if it is true, they have to show thumbs up. If it is false, they have to show thumbs down. So this is how you can make the whole class participate in any of the activities that you are taking in the class. So here is one more interesting thing. This is called the entry ticket or exit ticket. So this, the word ticket or slip, you can call it entry ticket or exit ticket, or entry slip or exit slip. So basically this slip helps you understand what the child has understood in the class. Okay, basically this slips you have to create on a piece of paper, putting down some questions like about whatever you have taught. So, or you can even ask questions like, okay, today I have learned, I could have, or next time I need to understand, or next time I need to learn about this, three things that I have learned, or things that I found interesting, questions I still have. So this will help you know whether the child has understood the lesson, or if there is any doubt, or you can even come across that the child has understood the concept well or not. So this tickets can be used in the beginning of the class, or that is in during introduction of the class, or in the closure. So this is one method where you can understand whether the child has understood the lesson or not. Then you have certain other interactive teaching strategies to encourage speech in your class. So you all know that communication is very important. So in order to make all your students speak, or to encourage your students to speak in the classroom, these are some of the methods. So one is think, pair, and share. So you can ask, you can allow the students to work in group and share their views, their opinions. They can work in pairs and share their opinions here. So then it is brainstorming, where you can ask, put up some question and ask them to think and reflect and come back. Then you have the bus session. Bus session is nothing but a group session, a GD, a group discussion. So when children work in pairs, when children brainstorm, when children work in groups, they are able to speak, they are able to express themselves properly. So this is where your teaching strategy will be more interactive, and it will reach out to the children, and it will enhance your communicative and collaborative skills. Okay. Here is one more thing that is called the high order thinking skills HOTS. So these are some questions that will help students think creatively and critically as well. So you can always pose some questions either at a point of time when you feel that okay, you have to check on like whether the children are able to answer this, or maybe at the end of the class in the closure you can ask these questions. Questions like, okay, what do you think could have happened next? If there is a story, you can think, okay, you can ask the students to think of the end next, what might have happened next, or give a better ending. Or do you know of other instances, or like what would you change in the story? So these questions will help the child to express himself, or think in a real life instance, and put up creatively and critical answers for the questions that you have asked. So these are some of the questions that can be asked in the class, so that they think creatively and come up with creative answers. These are some of the methods that we have already used in our lesson plans, um, and to make your class creative and interesting. Thank you. For any support, that you can contact us on schoolsupport@flexagn.com, or you can even call us, WhatsApp us on this number. Thank you.